Emma Walker had always been a headstrong teenager. At 21, she was independent, outspoken, and, unfortunately, had developed a habit of talking back, especially to her mother. Lately, her attitude had been getting worse. It started with eye rolls and muttering under her breath, but now she was outright disrespectful. Mrs. Walker had warned her multiple times that her behavior was unacceptable, but Emma never took those warnings seriously. Until today. It happened on a Saturday evening. Mrs. Walker had spent the whole day cleaning the house, and she had asked Emma to help. But Emma? She had ignored every request, choosing instead to lie on the couch, scrolling through her phone. "Emma, I asked you to take out the trash an hour ago," her mother reminded her. Emma didn't even look up. "I'll do it later." Mrs. Walker folded her arms. "No, you'll do it now." Emma sighed dramatically, finally looking up. "Why do I have to do everything? You're the one who cares about cleaning so much." Her mother's eyes narrowed. "Excuse me." Emma rolled her eyes, standing up in frustration. "Oh, you're so annoying." That was it. Mrs. Walker took a deep breath. "Go to my room, now." Emma froze. "Wait, what?" "You heard me." Her voice was calm but firm, a tone Emma knew meant she had pushed too far. Reluctantly, she stomped upstairs, her stomach twisting in nervous anticipation. When her mother walked in, she was holding something in her hand, something Emma had never been punished with before. A sturdy wooden hairbrush. Emma's heart skipped a beat. Mrs. Walker sat on the edge of the bed, motioning for Emma to stand in front of her. "You have been pushing your limits for weeks," she said. "I have warned you more than enough times, and today you crossed the line." Emma swallowed. "Mom, No," her mother interrupted. "I don't want excuses. I want you to understand that this," she lifted the brush slightly, "is happening because of your choices." Emma felt her face flush. She had never been punished like this before, and suddenly she realized just how serious her mother was. "Turn around," her mother instructed. Hesitantly, Emma obeyed, her hands clenching into fists at her sides. The first swat with the hairbrush landed firmly across the seat of her jeans. It wasn't unbearable, but it definitely got her attention. By the third, Emma felt the sting. Her mother wasn't punishing her in anger. She wasn't yelling or scolding, but each swat was deliberate and meant to teach a lesson. Emma gritted her teeth, trying to stay quiet, but after a few more sharp swats, she couldn't help but let out a small, "Ow." Mrs. Walker paused. "Are you starting to understand why this is happening?" Emma's face burned with embarrassment, but she nodded quickly. Yeah. "I don't think you do," her mother said, giving several more firm swats, making sure the message sank in. By the time it was over, Emma wasn't crying, but she definitely wasn't feeling so bold anymore. Her attitude had been replaced with a very real understanding of consequences. Her mother set the brush down and motioned for Emma to sit beside her. Emma hesitated. Her backside was sore, but she obeyed. Mrs. Walker turned to face her. "Now, tell me why you were punished." Emma swallowed, shifting uncomfortably. "Because I was disrespectful, and I didn't listen." Her mother nodded. "And will this happen again?" Emma quickly shook her head. "No, ma'am." Mrs. Walker sighed, wrapping an arm around her daughter's shoulders. "I don't enjoy punishing you, Emma, but I will not allow you to treat me, or anyone, with disrespect." Emma glanced at the hairbrush on the nightstand and shuddered slightly. "I definitely get it now." Her mother smiled slightly. "Good, because next time I won't hesitate to use that again." Emma sighed, rubbing her arm. "Yeah, lesson learned." And this time, she really meant it.